We've all seen a perfect project plan. It's beautiful, right? A neat list of tasks, a perfect timeline, a clear goal. It's like a perfect recipe. So here's the big question. If the recipe is so flawless, why do our projects so often go completely sideways and end up a total mess? Right. Let's imagine this. Someone hands you a recipe for the most amazing Victoria sponge cake you've ever seen. It's flawless, every measurement is precise, every instruction is crystal clear. It's basically foolproof. On paper, there's just no way you can mess this up. And yet, I'm willing to bet that cake is still probably going to be a bit of a disaster. And not because the recipe is wrong. No, it's because of something else. Something we almost always forget to think about. See, a recipe doesn't exist in a vacuum, does it? It exists in a kitchen. And that kitchen, well, that's our organizational system. It's the messy, chaotic, sometimes brilliant environment where all the actual work gets done. Now, if you look it up in a textbook, the official definition of a system is something like this: a collection of various components that together can produce results not obtainable by the individual components alone. Yeah, I know, a bit dry, isn't it? But stick with me, it gets better. Let's just translate that into plain English. A system? It's the whole blinking kitchen. It's the ovens, the counters, the chefs, the arguments, the whole shebang. All of it working together, or, let's be honest, sometimes against each other, to hopefully produce a cake at the end. And inside that system, you've got your components. The official term is an identifiable element that provides a particular function. Again, very formal, but let's make it real. So, what's a component? Well, it's just a part of the kitchen. It's the brilliant pastry chef. It's the main oven that's a bit dodgy. And yes, it's even Barry the waiter, who, bless his cotton socks, can never seem to remember who ordered the fish. They all have a specific job to do inside that bigger system. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. What happens when we put this whole system under pressure? Let's say it's a Friday night, the dinner rush is in full swing. This is where we get to see what the system is really made of. And here's the thing you have to remember: systems are dynamic. They're alive, they're always changing. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, bam! A busload of tourists from Canterbury suddenly appears at the door, completely unannounced. The whole environment just changed, and now your system has to react. Now, a manager looking at this chaos might think, okay, simple. If I increase the pressure on the team, they'll work faster and be more efficient. The input is pressure, the output should be speed. I mean, that sounds logical, right? And so, the head chef does what basically every manager in the history of the world has done. They march into the kitchen, clap their hands, and yell, "Right, that's it! Just get it done faster!" But what's the actual result? It's not faster service, it's pure chaos. It's two chefs arguing over the last clean fryer, someone dropping an entire tray of pans with a deafening crash, and somehow, the fish is now literally on fire. This shows us that systems are nonlinear. A simple push in one place doesn't create a nice, predictable result. It creates chaos. And this all leads us to the head chef's big dilemma. And honestly, this is a problem that every project controller has to deal with. Do you focus on making one little part of the process perfect? Or do you stand back and try to improve the whole system? Let's say the head chef gets a bit obsessed. His new mission in life is to create the perfect chip. We're talking the crispiest, fluffiest, most glorious fried potato in the entire county of Kent. He is going to optimize one single component, the fry station. So the plan goes into motion. He gives the best Maris Piper potatoes to his very best chef. The newest, fanciest fryer is now dedicated only to chips. Nothing else is allowed near it, and all of his management attention is on making sure those chips are perfect. So what happens? Well, look at that. The chip quality goes through the roof. They're absolutely magnificent, 95% perfect chips. But then look at the overall customer happiness. It has absolutely tanked, down to 20%. Why? Because while he was obsessing over the chips, the steaks went cold, the salads never got made, and people were waiting an hour for their food. And this brings us to the single most important, crucial point of this whole explainer. If you remember just one thing, please make it this. You cannot optimize a system and its components at the same time. It's impossible. If you focus on perfecting one tiny part, you will almost always make the whole system worse. So let's bring this back to you. How does all this kitchen madness apply to your job as a project controller, a planner, or an estimator? What does it all mean? Well, your job is not to be a chef. You're not in there trying to cook the perfect chip. No, you are the analyst. You are the one standing quietly in the corner with a clipboard and a stopwatch. Your job is to watch and to understand this beautiful, predictable chaos. So how do you actually do that? Well, first, you study the entire system, not just one chef. Watch the whole kitchen. Second, you understand the dynamics. You know that the pastry chef and the grill chef always have a row over the top oven at exactly 7 p.m. Third, you see the trade-offs. You spot the perfect chip problem before the chef even thinks of it. And finally, and this is the big one, you base your estimates on reality, on what the kitchen can actually do, not on what the perfect recipe says it should do. And this is why this is absolutely fundamental for your job. Let's talk time. That argument over the oven, that's a predictable 15-minute delay that you have to build into your schedule every single night. Cost. The chef's obsession with those fancy potatoes? Well, that's what's blowing your budget. And scope. The project plan, the recipe, says you can serve 100 people an hour. But you, the analyst who's been watching the real system, you know the reality is more like 60. And that is the number that matters. So I'll leave you with this one question. The next time someone hands you that beautiful, perfect project plan, are you just gonna read the recipe? Or are you gonna step into the kitchen, grab your clipboard, and start watching how the meal actually gets made?